Assalamualaikum, dear students. Hope you are fine. As you know that we had started our lesson number 11 at grandfather's house, which was a story about a girl who was 5 years old and her name was Heidi. And Heidi, for the first time ever, she visited her grandfather and she came to stare at his place. And so far, we read that he was very wondered and very excited and very happy at the same time, and delighted to being living with the grandfather. And what we learn about grandfather, that he was not a very rich man. He was living a very simple life. He was having a very simple house, and inside the house, even the things were very simple. So far we have read that. How was the condition of house inside, and now we are going to start reading from here where we left the day before yesterday. Okay, I'm getting the bed ready now, she called down again, but I will need a sheet. You can't have a bed without a sheet. You have to have one to lie upon. All right, said grandfather. He went to the cupboard. After searching for a few minutes, he pulled out a thick, heavy old cloth. It was a bit rough, but it was all he had that could be used as a sheet, and he carried it up to the loft. Students, you see, actually these sentences and the words inside them, they are telling us that the grandfather was not a very rich man. He was not even affordable enough to have good sheets at his home. So the sheet which he searched and he could arrange, it was even rough, and that was difficult to be used. But he brought it for her. In the loft, Heidi had already made quite a nice bed. She had put an extra heap of hay at one end of a pillow. She had arranged it in a way that when in bed, she would be able to see out through the round window. She had made the bed in this way that she could, while lying on the bed even, she could see through the window, where it was a very beautiful sight outside. Well done, said her grandfather. Now we must put on the sheet, but wait a moment first. Saying this, he went and fetched. Underline the word fetched. It means brought or got. He fetched more hay to make the bed thicker. Heidi would be very comfortable and would not be able to hard floor underneath her bed. Heidi had got hold of the sheet, but it was almost too heavy for her to carry. It was a good thing that the sheet was thick and heavy, because the sharp stalks of the hay would not poke through it and hurt her. Underline the word poke. Poke mean to, basically the poke has a different meaning, to look or search around a place. But here the poke is used that they won't touch her or they won't hurt her. Because of that, what will not touch her or hurt her? The sharp stalks of hay. It is understood. But with the help of the heavy sheet, they won't do it. Grandfather and Heidi worked together to spread the sheet over the bed, tucking it, underline the word tucking it, under the hay. Students, what is the meaning of tucking? We do it almost many a times when we spread the bed sheets on our beds. To push a loose end of the piece of clothing into a particular place to make it tidy. When we tuck the bedsheet under a mattress to make it more tidy, it now looked like a very tidy and comfortable bed. Heidi looked thoughtful. It needs a cover, grandfather, she said. Yes, he agreed. After more searching, he found a small cover for Heidi. She was very pleased with her bed and wanted to go to sleep. But I think we might eat something first, said grandfather. What do you think? In the excitement of bed making, Heidi had forgotten everything else. But now Heidi realized, underline the word realized, it means She came to realize, she came to know, became aware of something, that she was very hungry. She had not eaten anything to eat since the small breakfast she had eaten before the long, hot journey. So she answered quickly, "Yes, I think so too." "Let's go then, as we both think alike," said the old man. In the main room, grandfather sat by the fire. He started to warm some milk and to toast some cheese. Hedy watched carefully. Suddenly, she jumped up and ran to the cupboard. She started going busily backwards and forwards. Then, grandfather got up to put the cheese on the table. He saw it was tidily laid with the bread, two plates, and the knife. Hedy had remembered all that there was in the cupboard, and she knew which things would be wanted for their meal. What they want to tell here in this paragraph, that when they decided to eat the meal, sorry. So in the main room, grandfather sat by the fire, and he started to warm some milk and put some cheese on a toast. And what Hedy did, she tried herself best to help him out. How? She went to the cupboard where she had seen the kitchen utensils, and with little effort, she could be able enough to get back with some two plates and a knife and a bread, and she put over there. And at last, that's right, said grandfather. "I'm glad to see you that you have some ideas of your own." As he spoke, he laid the toasted cheese on some bread. But there is still something missing. And what is that? Hedy thought, "What is that?" She looked at the jug of milk. Then she ran quickly back to the cupboard and got the two bowls from it. "Good, very helpful. Now, where will you sit?" Grandfather was sitting on the only chair in the room. Hedy got the stool and sat on it. She was too small to reach the table. Can you see in the picture that they had made a chair to be used as a table, and she is sitting on a stool. It's too low, but we shall fix that later, said grandfather. Now come along, let's eat. He stood up and moved his chair in front of Hedy's stool. She put a bowl of milk on the chair. Now Hedy had her own table. She had brought her a large slice of bread and a piece of the golden cheese and told her to eat. Hedy lifted the bowl with two hands and drank without pause till it was empty. She was suddenly very thirsty from her long hot journey. Was the milk nice? Asked the grandfather. It is the best I have ever had, answered Hedy. Students, what do you think? What this simple story wants to tell you? Just this information that Hedy was 5 years old and the grandfather's house was this and that. What do you think? What is the hidden lesson inside the story? You see that grandfather was not a very rich man. He was not having even sufficient things in his house. But even then, Hedy enjoyed a lot when she visited him. What is the reason? The reason is basically the love and the affection that grandfather possesses for her. And you see, one more lesson is here, that even if we don't have enough or more than enough things around us, we have no luxuries of life with us, but even then happiness can be availed with the given and available things. You got it? If we want to be happy, we no need to have luxurious life. No, even the life we are having, even the things we are having at the moment, they can be enough to make us happy. You see that how Hedy is happy. They don't have table, but they did manage it. They were not having a very luxury bed, but they managed to have a hay put over there and to spread the sheet over there, and this way they made a bed for them. But even then she was very happy. You see? So happiness is something else beyond the luxuries of life. Understood? Our luxuries of lives are not the reason of making us happy. Happiness is above all these things. We can make ourselves and others happy even with small things we are having. Okay, keep in your mind. This is all about the lesson. Here are the words meaning of the lesson, students. Explore means more through an unknown area to learn about it. When somebody is wandering here and there to know about it, okay? Heap means a pile of something. Tidily means neatly. Hayloft, the top part of a farm building where hay is stored. Poke, to look or search around a place. Tucking is to push a loose end of a piece of clothing into a particular place to make it tidy. This is all about today's class, students.